Hello, Mr. Alatorre. This is Paul Leisure, and I'm getting ready to do my informative speech. Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew Leisure, and I'm here today to talk to you, give you some information about alcohol, driving, and BAC is the main thing I want to talk about. BAC is blood alcohol concentration. First off, I'd like to explain what blood alcohol concentration is. According to the Drive Right Manual, blood alcohol concentration is the ratio of alcohol to blood. Now the reason that it's ratio is because it's the percent of alcohol that's in your blood. If you have one drink, your BAC will be 0.02 or 0.03 depending on some different factors. According to Drive Right, that's what it says that you'll be. The first factor I'd like to talk to you about today is your weight. That's your first factor for BAC. It affects your blood alcohol concentration. The more weight you have in your body, the more you weigh, the lower your BAC will be per drink as compared to someone who weighs less. So if you have two people, one person weighs 150 and one person weighs 200, and they have the same amount of drinks over the same amount of time, the 200-pound person will have a lower BAC than the other person. The second factor I'd like to talk to you about is the time spent drinking. Time spent drinking. It's important that you understand that you can drink alcohol over a long period of time and your BAC will not rise as quickly as it would if you drank over a short period of time. If you had 5 drinks in an hour, you're probably going to be getting your BAC up really fast. The reason I think that this stuff is important is because according to the responsible driving, there are some different factors here that alcohol does affect. An alcohol-related crash occurs every 2 minutes in the United States. This results in about 16,000 deaths per year, and this is about 40% of all traffic accidents. All traffic deaths have to do with alcohol. So that's your alcohol-related crashes, and that's also according to responsible driving. Okay, I'd like to give you guys a little bit of an example of why I think this is important. According to the Associated Press today, there was an NFL player named Dante Stallworth. Let me put this into perspective for you. He makes $35 million over the next 4 years. This guy, he's got everything going for him except one thing. 7 a.m. on March 14th, he was drunk driving. He hit a pedestrian who was in the roadway running to a bus stop and killed him. The guy was 59 years old. His name was Mario Reyes. It's a very, very sad situation. According to the Associated Press, they got a hold of the police affidavit, and it said that Dante Stallworth's blood alcohol level was 0.126, and that is huge. That is way over the legal limit in Miami, Florida right now. In Miami, Florida, it's 0.08. That's the legal limit. You get in trouble with 0.08. Well, this guy was 0.126. Now, according to the Drive Right Manual, every drink you have is 0.02 or 0.03% more on your BAC. So he was at least 3 or 4 drinks over his BAC. The next thing I'd like to talk to you about, the next factor, has to do with food. A lot of times people don't understand that food is a factor in your BAC, but it's not a factor in the way you think. The food is affected because if you drink on an empty stomach, your BAC will skyrocket right away. But if you drink on a full stomach, your BAC will be the same amount for as many drinks as you've had. It'll just wait for it to process through the food before it hits there. So this might happen with a lot of drunk drivers when they're out there driving. They get out there on the road and they drive and they think, okay, I'm okay, it's the end of the night, I don't feel drunk at all. But the thing is, they had a big steak dinner before they started drinking, and boom, they're on their way home, the food processed, and the BAC runs way up there. Okay? It's important that you understand these different factors that affect your BAC. And you understand that weight is a factor, that time spent drinking is a factor, and that food is a factor. This is all important. Like I said, with Dante Stallworth, to wrap this all up and put it in perspective, you could avoid any of the trouble that he has right now. As of right now, I think his hearing or his court date is April 17th or something. He's going to go in there, and the maximum he could get is 15 years for DUI manslaughter. This is just some information that you need to know about BAC and alcohol and driving. Thank you for your attention. Have a good evening.